I made a lot of people rags on this super chain. Craze back outside and it's right here. This that super bass. I just woke up and I'm like, what I'm finna do today? Measurements, major flips, makes sense. Okay, let's go. Going up, I'm going long. I told the squad, meet at the base. Punt the bags, I punt the stock. It must be hard to keep the pace. 7 figures out the songs, that was the outcome of my pain. We're bringing $1 billion Onchain.
Some people gon' leave whenever there's tough times, but shout out to the real ones that stuck by. Dark days make you appreciate when there's sunshine. Reason I trust mine. Look, I got some moves to make. I gotta get it right now, I refuse to wait. Really don't do the fakes. I gotta keep my grass low just to view the snakes. If only you knew the stakes. Taking these risks to pursue was great. I got some moving bass. Now I'm on chain and I'm using bass. Using bass. Now I'm on chain and I'm using bass. I've been outside, I'ma choose my faith. Cooking the shit of a food on plates. And then when Rio be standing on business, there ain't no way we can lose this race. I had to manage the damage inflicted. Put on the grass, we don't use the brakes. Nah. So many chains I've been able to mint. So many ways now I'm taking my pick. Bullet the best while I'm still in the market. Wallets on wallets, I'm staking a bit. Face like I'm little B. Say what I say, now she feel to me. Make what I make, now they shielding me.
Big dog, big drums, big bass. When she look around, she see bass. Trying to play keep up, but it's way too late.
Onchain is the next online.
Hello, everybody. That song was based, if you don't know, it's based by Rio and Heno. They dropped that about a month ago, 2 months ago on sound.xyz. I'm Jesse, the creator of Base. Super excited to be here for another edition of Onchain Stories. And today I'm joined by Leighton and Light, the creators of Base Management. Welcome, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for making the time to jump on for the special edition of Onchain Stories. Before we get into base management, because I know we got a lot to talk about there, I'd love for each of you to just share a little bit about your story of coming on chain and how it's kind of impacted your life.
Yeah, I'm happy to go first. I can just go light and then you hit it. But yeah, so I first came on chain, I think in like late 2018. And my first experience was using on Ethereum, using a DeFi protocol called Compound. And when I did that, I was just like, this is the future. I had the experience of minting DAI and then depositing on Compound. And I just felt like this is such an amazing product experience. The advantages you get from building something on chain versus building something off chain are huge. And so that was when I first got on chain, and I've been full-time working in crypto ever since. Started a DeFi protocol called Pool Together, and then now working on base management as well as a couple other things. So that's how I got into it. And yeah, the product experience of Onchain is what really excites me. And yeah, Light, go for it.
Yeah, I entered late 2020, early 21, and my first experience actually was minting art NFTs on Foundation and OpenSea before OpenSea kind of blew up as the hub for profile photos. And before that, I was off-chain creator trying to be a photographer and these kind of things. And I had a similar epiphany moment of, oh, this is how I can actually make a career as a creative. And this is where the value I produce, can be spread out amongst many people, but I still retain some kind of ownership and provenance on it. And then I've just kind of stumbled through, met Leighton and Jesse, and base management has sprung up and become this awesome thing where we get to kind of give back to creators as well as builders. And then also involved in Hire, a kind of a new culture phenomenon happening on base as well.
I love it. And I think the thing that I love about both of your guys' stories of coming on chain is that neither of them were driven by speculation. Both of them were just like, we came on chain and we found a better product experience. We found a better way for us to make money as a creative, and that had a positive impact on us. And I think that, a lot of people have been brought on chain by speculation over the last decade. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this next era of crypto, the on-chain era, I do think we're going to see more and more folks who are just brought on by utility and brought on by the reality of this thing being a better platform.
Totally.
Do you have something to add there?
No, I totally agree. I think I was just going to talk a little bit. I was going to jump into base management, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about base
there.
management. Okay, so I mean, I know deeply about base management, but can you just tell the audience like what is base management? What's the origin story of base management? What does it look like today?
Yeah, well, I think like we should both answer this question because I think maybe they'll be slightly different. But I think that for me, the insight was like, okay, if you've been in crypto, you understand that like different blockchains have their own sort of unique cultures. So like Solana has a very distinct culture from Ethereum. Ethereum has a distinct culture from Optimism, Base, Zora, etc. And with Base being a new chain that's launching, I thought it was like a really exciting opportunity to try to be early and to try to shape the culture. Like, what is going to be the unique culture of Base? And already, it's some of it has been established. Like, Base is for builders, Base is for consumers. Like, it's where everyone's kind of like coming on chain. It's a place where people are coming on chain. But there's still a lot that you can impact and influence. And so that was what was exciting to me about base management, was basically saying like, hey, we recognize that chains develop their own unique cultures. We recognize that the people who are the earliest contributors are the biggest influencers of that culture. So like, let's be early and let's like contribute and let's try to shape this into what we want it to be. And I would say, if that is interesting to you, as you in the audience, like, then that's what base management's for. Like, it's for other people who are also interested in that same idea of like, hey, we're early, we care, let's do something and create like a really special place here. So that'd be my answer of what base management is. But Light, I want to hear your words on it too.
Yeah, there's some overlap certainly in terms of providing an arena in a new chain that has a culture yet to be defined. And then I think on the creator side of things, off chain is very messy and power dynamics are quite hard to navigate from the creative standpoint. So base management for me is like a very interesting, what if DAOs were cool? What if infrastructure was cool? What if we made things that were inviting to the people who create value rather than just extracting from it? And, Base is obviously incubated by Coinbase. They're powerful. They battle the SEC. They're kind of leading from the front. So it's interesting on how do we make that actually a positive sum relationship in this new world rather than, at odds.
I love that. And so you guys started base management basically right when base launched, if I recall correctly. What's kind of changing today? What's this next iteration of base management, and how are you seeing people, or how are you wanting people to get involved?
Yeah, well, I think like we've been, Light and I and the others, it's not just us, the others in the base management community have been sort of like open-handed and like let things evolve organically. And I think broadly speaking, we've seen two main like paths emerge. One is the path of like the person who is sort of what I was just talking about, like who's really excited about base, wants to be a part of it. They maybe aren't full time. They're not like they might not be like a technical person. They're not like starting a company that's built on base, but they are like passionate about it and they're enthusiasts. And so that's like our internship path, which is like, let's create an onboarding ramp where we help people start becoming creators on base, start building that culture on base, get rewarded for that. And as they climb that like quote unquote corporate ladder, it's supposed to be kind of a joke and be funny, but as they climb that corporate ladder, they can like get more say. So that's like the builder, or sorry, the enthusiast path. It's the internship. And then the second is like people who want help building. People who are like, oh, I have an idea and like I want mentorship, or like, hey, I'm going to launch my thing next week and I want my first users, or like I have an idea and I need money. And so we have this builder path where we have a few different ways where people can get grants, where people can get mentorship, and where people can like apply to help get like marketing lift for when they launch. So yeah, those are the two things I think that have really emerged. It's like the core things. It's kind of like on the one side, it's getting more people on chain and helping them start developing the culture, and on the other side, it's like more hands-on with the building. But yeah, like what would you say about that as well?
Yeah, I think like meme wise, we were kind of joking behind the scenes about front desk, like base management as a corporate meme and the front desk. So base management is kind of like your front desk to on chain on base, right? You come to the front desk, you get an intern card, you tell us what you want to do, whether you want to create or whether you want to build, or even if you want to govern, etc. And then we kind of just say, hey, why don't you go over here with some other people? Because from a creative standpoint, I can definitely speak to it's quite lonely when you first come on chain. There's so much stuff going on in so many different chains, and it's easy to kind of get lost. So base management is a place where we kind of go, come together, figure out what you want to do on chain, and then go be great.
I love that. And so if I'm someone who's just coming into the base ecosystem and I want to start getting involved and I'm interested in kind of contributing to base management, and you've talked about these two paths, the intern path and then the builder path, what's the easiest way to get started with both of them?
Yeah, so kind of the roadmap for both are on the website, which is based.management. So go to based.management, and there's like two, you'll see it's very distinct. There's like two roadmaps. But yeah, so if you want to go on like the intern path, the first thing you do is you mint the internship card, which is basically just a way of being like, hey, I joined the base management internship, and it lets us see like on chain who is all in it, so that we can do, communications and things like that to everybody who's in the internship program. And then the next step is to start creating culture on base, because it goes back to that idea of like each chain has its own unique culture. And so the next step of like the internship journey is to create your first NFT on base. And when you do that, you'll actually, when people mint it, you actually earn like a little bit of money, which is really cool. So, and then there's more steps, but I won't go through them all because they're on the website. But go to base management, and those are the first two steps. And then for the builders, it's a little bit, again, go to base management, and you'll see the links are all there, but it's a little bit more contextual. Like if you need money, then you should go to the base management treasury, and then you could ask for a grant. If you just need like mentorship, then that's gonna be more of like a one-on-one thing with people who are in base management. If you are launching and you want like co-marketing, then again, that's something we'll talk about, and we do with a lot of protocols. And also base management is very active on Firecaster. So there's a channel on Farcaster, so definitely join there. And if you have questions, you can ask on there as well. I don't know, am I missing anything, Light?
I think the only thing I have to add is this next batch of interns mint that card so that we have access to your wallet, and then we'll put you in the Telegram. We have a base management intern Telegram that we're going to create, and we'll funnel everybody in there, and we'll kind of start networking from there.
I absolutely love it. And one of the things I love about base management is at first glance, you might hear about it and you'll be like, wow, this is like the corporate structure of base. But in reality, it's a decentralized community of builders coming together and saying, hey, we're going to define our own structure. And we're going to actually build the future that we want to see. And we're going to build the culture that we want to see. And I've talked about this online a fair amount. I feel like one of the things that's really inspiring to me about what's happening on base right now is there are all of these kind of emergent cultural movements starting to crop up and starting to say, hey, we're going to be a part of this global on-chain economy that's being built on base. And I feel like base management is really a defining one. And so again, if you're listening in and you're excited about base and you want to find a way to start contributing to the ecosystem, join base management. Go to base.management. You can become an intern. You can become a builder, and you don't need to be technical. You don't need to be like a savant at anything. You could just be a person who wants to make some friends, contribute to something bigger than yourself, and be a part of bringing the world on chain. So I'm really excited about base management. I'm curious, as you guys look towards the next year, like how do you think base management is going to impact the ecosystem? What do you think is going to happen?
I can lead on that one, Leighton, if you want. If
you
go to
go for it.
If you go to base.management, I know we're referencing that site a lot, but it really does have everything you need there. And you look at the homepage and you scroll down, there's actually a Venn diagram that we put up that shows kind of the 4 participants of on-chain culture, builders, creators, governors, and investors. And I think my answer to the question right now, Jesse, is I definitely see base management in the middle of that Venn diagram, figuring out how to use NFTs and build infrastructure and make those things, mesh together to actually produce base economy. I know everyone's saying base season, but I kind of like to mean base economy more. And so I kind of feel that's where base management's headed.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that vision a lot. I think Light's done an amazing job of like articulating it and also like creating visuals behind it. But yeah, I mean, I think not to add, I guess, but just to give a different analogy, or not different, but just a different analogy is like, I sort of see it as like two-sided marketplace, right? Like on the one hand, you have these builders who are building amazing things, but they need people to use them and they need people to know about them. And on the other hand, you have all these people who are really excited about like a new technology, but they don't necessarily know like what to do or what's interesting. And so base management's hopefully sitting right in between those two things and saying, hey, for builders, we're going to make sure you get your first users. We're going to help you get money if you need it or whatever you need. And then for users, we're going to take you on this journey to get you up to speed. And I think it's mostly, it's a matter of scaling. I think as that vision's become clear.
I love that. And I am so excited about base management. If you're listening in, please go to base.management. This is probably the easiest, best, highest impact way you can get started contributing to base, particularly if you're not going to be building an on-chain product. This is how you can actually help build our community, build our culture, and build this economy that is going to become a global economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom. The last thing that I will say is I just want to say thank you to the two of you. If folks don't know, Light has really had like a transformative impact on the base brand, the base culture. He dropped Based and Early, which was I think like a defining NFT right at the beginning of Onchain Summer that something like 50,000 people minted, and I think really set a tone visually and culturally for what we were building. And then Leighton, has been driving base management, has been a mentor for so many base builders, has defined kind of like a crypto native go-to-market, stitching together base paint and other things happening on base to help people launch their protocols. And the two of them working together have built this engine, base management, that every day onboards culturally aligned builders and interns to the base ecosystem. And so I just want to say thank you to the two of you for all of your contributions. Thank you for being base builders. And thank you for guiding and mentoring and helping train the next class of interns and builders who are going to make base special.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun, and it's just getting started.
Just getting started. Still day one. As Wilson Cusack says, the job is not finished. We have billions of people, billions of builders to onboard, and we're just getting started. So if you're excited about coming and building with us, go to base.management, become an intern, become a builder, contribute to the culture, create something on chain, and change the world. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.